Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna try to do a real quick post-fight vid for y'all, man, because I did not get to do it after the fights. Of course, I crashed. I was tired and depressed at the same time after UFC. But before I talk about UFC, man, let me congratulate leader Alvarez. I say his first name. Let me congratulate Alvarez, man. I bet against him in that fight. I got Kovalev at a minus 500. I thought that was a deal. Put it in my parlay. The first two rounds I gave to Alvarez. Third round I had even. The fourth, fifth, and sixth, of course, Kovalev was making a comeback. He was landing some shots. His power was, causing him to seemingly take over the fight. And in the seventh round, man, he did not have his left hand up, and he got hit flush, man, on the temple and could not recover, man. And as a Kovalev fan, man, it was hard to see, man. It was hard to see a great champion like that go down like that, man. Me personally, I felt that he had two blemishes on his record that were injustice, in my opinion, because the first fight, I felt he clearly beat Ward when I picked Ward in that fight. And I thought that he beat Ward in that fight. I think 117, 114 is my scorecard. And that was the first boxing video they ever did on YouTube. And in the second fight, hell, I think he fought a cheated, roided up, PED'd Andre Ward, in my opinion. Andre Ward, who was bullshitting between fights, delaying the fight, threatening retirement, would not go ahead, sign, agree, for the fight. Delay, giving him time to do whatever he wanted with no random blood urine testing. He was not in WBC clean boxing program. He, the fair boxing program had not started at that point. So, he had a nice break between fights, to do whatever he wanted if he cheated. And, all of a sudden, he decides when he wants to agree to the fight, and then by that point, they can do random testing or whatever, and then he shows up with this improved physique. He's more trim, he's more muscular, he's faster, he's stronger. He can't stop but half the guys in his career. And he stopped Sergey Kovalev for the first time in his career, I thought it was bullshit, man. I felt that Kovalev got cheated in that fight. Plus, he had a trainer in his corner who was selling him out. Hell, that who knows if he was slipping him something in the corners, putting some shit in his bottle or some shit, man. So, I felt that was a bullshit fight. And Alvarez, man, hey, that was a clear victory, man. Sergey really was not looking hot in that fight, man. Having problems with a boxer, but also he was missing shots, man. He was not that accurate, like some age had slipped in, in the past, Sergey would have been landing shots like, what he was throwing, so he'd been more crisp, so, I do think it's, even though I think at that point he was up by 1 point on my scorecard, but still, even if he had pulled it off, I would have came on and said that, that he was nearing the end, man. I think I said after the second war fight that we had seen the best of Kovalev. So, I saw his video apologizing to the fans, which he doesn't have to apologize to me, man. He was a warrior. He's given us some great fights, some great memories over the years, man. Some great knockouts, and a guy who has not failed any tests, a guy who has been enrolled in the clean boxing program. So, he doesn't owe me an apology, man. He was a warrior. He was defending his title. He went out on his shield. He did not quit. Nothing like that. And it was tough to see a great champion like that, going out the hard way, man. A guy that I'm a fan of, But if you stick around long enough, man, that's what's gonna happen to everybody, man. Just like Bernard Hopkins, he stuck around too long. He didn't just get knocked out of boxing. He literally got knocked out of the ring, yeah, man. My advice to Sergey, man, if he wanted to have another fight, I would say have a retirement fight in Russia against someone that he should beat. Probably not a top 10 guy, and go out on a win, call it a day. At home. Unless he wants to also have a fight like that in the States, But I was seeing somebody talk about a rematch with Alvarez, man. If he wants to give it a shot, that's fine, because he was taking over the fight. Maybe he'd do better in the second fight. Who knows? But even if he does, man, I know that we have seen his best days, man. He's not the same guy, man. Just not as not as accurate with his punches, man. Not as fast. So looking a bit sloppy. So and on the UFC real quick, man, congrats to TJ Dillashaw, man. Not a Dillashaw fan. I'm a Cody Garbrandt fan. I want Cody to win that fight. I played that fight to not go to distance, man. Definitely feel somebody would get finished. Did not play with my emotions, and Cody, his mind, his heart, his ego, his balls, man. It ruined it for him, man. He wanted to stand there and trade with the guy. His emotions took over, man, getting in the fist fight. Instead of using that brilliant boxing like he did with Dominic Cruz, he got caught and could not recover, man. His chin got cracked in the first fight, and now it's been cracked again, man. So his punch resistance, hey, it's going downhill, man. He ain't gonna be able to take these kind of shots throughout his career, man, clearly. So he needs to fight more intelligently, man. But as long as Dillashaw has the belt, doubt he get another chance, man. Getting finished in the second and then in the first. I don't know what Cody's gonna do, man. I wouldn't think he should move up when he can't take a 135 punch. So I don't know, man. I think it's just gonna be until Dillashaw can lose that belt and he go on a hell of a run, and he can get another shot. But and they talking about Dillashaw, the greatest 135 pounder of all time, man. What an insult to Dominic Cruz that is, man. I'm not saying that shit. He lost to the best 135 of all time. All right, and congrats to Henry Cejudo, man. I was playing that fight and I go to distance, and it did, unfortunately. So, but that was a fight that I felt Cejudo was a live dog, because Mighty Mouse had been on a long run. He was due. That's how I feel. When these fighters have these long runs, man, gets to the point to where they are due. Like a Joanna, like a Ronda Rousey. And Cejudo had improved. He had gotten more experience, and he is a great fighter, man. And I felt that he won the fight. I thought he won the second, the fourth, and the fifth, I believe. So, I'm not mad at the decision. He called out the winner of the 135 pound title fight, which I admire. Him saying that he would move up, unlike Mighty Mouse. I like that. That's why I'm a fan of Cejudo, man. I like this guy's attitude. I always have. Always says the right thing. Has a great demeanor. But I think what the UFC is gonna do and what they should do, because there's money in it. If I'm the matchmaker, man, we're gonna have the trilogy fight with Mighty Mouse, man. They can headline the pay-per-view. That's a headliner, man. And then they can also do another headliner with Dillashaw versus Marlon Moraes. So, who has been on the run. So I think his only loss was his first fight in the UFC, and ever since then he's been winning. He beat Jimmy Rivera, who had been on the long undefeated streak. So I think those are two pay-per-view headliner fights instead of making a Cejudo Dillashaw fight. If Cejudo can successfully beat Mighty Mouse, then they can make that a super fight, man. But I think that's what they need to do, man, because there's too much money in in the trilogy with Mighty Mouse and Cejudo. Mighty Mouse, the longest reigning champion of all time, losing his belt in a fight that some people think he won. People in disbelief about it. You know, just like the Anderson Silva Chris Weidman fight. You know, a lot of money in that third fight, man. So, you know, that's it, guys. Real quick, post fight for me. And let me say, I did 2 videos the other day, Friday, on Deontay Wilder and his situation with AJ and Tyson Fury, but I never uploaded them. I will try to upload those at some point today, so you guys can hear them. My thoughts on this situation. Plus, I'll probably do a follow up after that sometime. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed the fights this weekend, man. Did not watch the Devin Alexander Andre Berto fight. Didn't care about that fight. I don't know who won. Don't care. I heard it was controversial, but I don't. You know, those guys are past it. You know, not at their best anymore. So, you know, PBC wasting great real estate, great time on Fox with a bullshit fight like that, man. It should be a pay-per-view headlining type fight on broadcast TV. That's why they have lost hundreds of millions of dollars. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about the fights and what I've said, and I will check in with you guys soon, man. Thanks for watching.